Has this ever happened to you? You make a plan, swear that this time you'll change, and fail again. The gym becomes a memory after 2 weeks. The project starts with excitement but dies in neglect. And that New Year's resolution? A ghost that mocks your lack of strength. Now reflect, if you have the courage to hear this next part. Have you ever wondered why some people achieve everything they want, while you keep putting things off, falling into procrastination, and missing opportunities? The difference isn't luck, talent, or genetics. The answer lies in one word: discipline, or more precisely, the lack of it. Discipline, the secret weapon that separates dreamers from achievers. Lack of discipline isn't a lack of willpower. It's a modern trap. We live in a world that sabotages us with 24/7 temptations, social media, food delivery, instant comfort. Meanwhile, your discipline weakens like an atrophied muscle. Worse, you start believing you're weak. But the truth, you just never learned how to train this skill. Here's the paradox. Disciplined people aren't robots with no joy. They're actually the freest of all. While you're fighting laziness, the disciplined person chooses when to act and when to rest, because they control their impulses. Which one do you want to be? In this video, you'll master 10 practical tips based on Stoicism to: first, unlock your discipline, even if you've failed 100 times. Second, escape the modern trap: social media, procrastination, instant comfort. Third, become someone who follows through with yourself and with others. The Stoics and the greatest minds in history always knew discipline is like a muscle. You either train it or it wastes away. Don't skip tips 7 and 10. That's where I reveal the #1 mistake even determined people make and how to fix it today. Before we start, do this now. Leave a like. It helps YouTube show this video to people who need to change. Subscribe and hit the bell so you get new weekly content for your growth. Comment, "I'm going to change," make a public commitment. It activates your brain. Hit play. Your transformation starts now. Tip 1. Start small, but start now. Discipline isn't built with impossible goals. The Stoics knew that great achievements come from small steps. Picture someone who's never worked out promising to train for 2 hours a day. By day 3, they quit. Now think of someone who starts with just 10 minutes a day. In a month, they've already built a habit. The secret is in the micro-commitment. The Stoic principle behind this is proportional action. Epictetus said, "If you want to be strong, start by lifting light weights." Applied today, choose a simple task, like reading 5 pages a day or walking for 15 minutes. The brain resists less when the challenge is small, and every little win builds your confidence. Real-life example. Instead of promising to never eat junk food again, just swap out your breakfast for something healthy. Small changes fly under the radar of mental resistance but create a domino effect. Before you know it, you're back in control. Ask yourself, what's the smallest action you can take today toward your goal? Write it down and do it before sunset. Consistency turns the ridiculous into routine, and routine into result. In the next tip, you'll discover the forgotten technique elite athletes use to stay disciplined, even on their worst days, and how to apply it to any area of your life. Tip 2. The power of the public pact. The Romans had a brutal trick to guarantee discipline. They made public oaths. When you announce your goal to others, the shame of failure becomes fuel. A study from Dominican University showed that people who share their goals are 65% more likely to achieve them. Marcus Aurelius used to write his promises in journals, knowing that accountability multiplies willpower. Here's how it works. Tell 3 people that you're going to meditate every day at 7 a.m., or post a story committing to deliver a project by Friday. Positive social pressure becomes a lever. Everyday example. If you want to quit smoking, tell your family and co-workers. Every cigarette you skip becomes a collective victory. If you want to wake up early, schedule breakfast with a friend at 6:30 a.m. External commitment reduces your margin for excuses. Reflect. What goal have you kept? Secret out of fear of failure? Turn it into a public pact today. Daylight is the best antidote to procrastination. Tip 3 will reveal how the Stoics tricked the brain into making hard tasks feel easy, a method even children can use. Tip 3. The unbreakable hour ritual. Seneca had a relentless habit. He reserved the first hour of the day for study. No exceptions. He called it the sacred hour. Neurologically, turning fixed times into rituals reduces decision-making, and decision-making is the enemy of discipline. When you automate an action, it becomes a reflex like brushing your teeth. Science calls this habit stacking. Here's how it works. You wake up, drink water, do 5 push-ups, and write down your top 3 priorities for the day. Repeat for 21 days and your brain will start doing it on autopilot. Stoicism takes it further. Treat this time as a duty to yourself. Real life. Example: a writer who types 500 words at 6 a.m. before checking their phone. A student who reviews notes every day on the bus. The key is to link the new habit to an existing trigger. You already have dozens of these dead moments in your day. Key question: what 30-minute window in your routine can you turn into an unbreakable hour? Start with 1 and expand. Tip 4 is what separates amateurs from professionals. A golden rule the Spartans used to train soldiers, and one you can apply to your work starting tomorrow. Tip 4. The 5-second rule. When your alarm goes off or an opportunity to act appears, you have a critical 5-second window to decide. Psychologist Mel Robbins discovered that after that time, your brain starts making excuses. The Stoics practiced this as acting before overthinking. If you want to work out, get up immediately after waking. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Action must follow purpose as the shadow follows the body." When you feel resistance, count 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. This technique cuts self-sabotage at the root. It works because it interrupts the hesitation loop that leads to procrastination. Practical example: if you've been putting off a tough phone call, pick up the phone and dial before you think. If you want to start studying, open the book the moment the idea crosses your mind. Immediate action neutralizes the comfort-seeking mind. Ask yourself, what task have you been delaying for days? Use the 5-second rule right now. Every time you act quickly, you strengthen your discipline muscle. The next tip will reveal how Olympic athletes use the principle of anticipated pain to stay disciplined, and how you can use it too, even if you're not an athlete. Tip 5. The principle of anticipated pain. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, anticipating challenges. A marathon runner visualizes exhaustion before the race to mentally prepare. When you foresee difficulties, they lose their power to derail you. Write down the obstacles you might face and how you'll overcome them. Epictetus taught, "What stands in the way becomes the way." If you know you'll feel too lazy to work out at night, set your gym clothes out in the morning. If you tend to procrastinate on a project, block social media on your computer. Turn weak points into strategies. Real-life example: a student who anticipates wanting to go out during finals schedules a study group instead. An entrepreneur who expects fatigue preps healthy meals on Sunday. Anticipation becomes prevention. Reflect. What's your biggest weak spot when trying to stay disciplined? Create a plan today to neutralize it before it strikes. Tip 6 contains a military secret that transforms obligations into personal missions. A method that has trained both soldiers and successful CEOs. Tip 6. Mission, not task. The Spartans didn't go into battle thinking they had to fight. They had a sacred mission. When you turn your goals into personal missions, discipline flows naturally. Instead of saying, "I need to work," say, "My mission is to build something meaningful." Language shifts motivation. Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the who doesn't know his destination." Create a motto for your purpose. I'm someone who takes care of my body, or I'm a professional who delivers excellence. Identity builds consistency. Everyday example. Instead of "go on a diet," say, "I'm someone who eats mindfully." Replace "study for a test" with "my mission is to master this subject." That shift changes everything. Powerful question. How would you describe your goals if they were life missions? Rewrite 3 of your goals as identity statements today. The next tip will skyrocket your productivity with the Roman Legion method. a war tactic adapted for your routine that multiplies results. Tip 7. The Roman legion method. Roman generals broke large battles into small territorial conquests. This same strategy applies to discipline. Break down massive projects into daily micro-wins. A book is written page by page. A fit body is built workout by workout. The Stoics called this focusing on your circle of control. Marcus Aurelius kept a journal dividing imperial goals into measurable daily actions. Does your project feel overwhelming? Set weekly milestones and celebrate each one. The dopamine from these small victories fuels the discipline for your next step. Practical example. Instead of, I have to write my thesis, say, today I'll find 3 sources and write 300 words. Turn mountains into steps. Even tiny progress builds psychological momentum. Ask yourself, which of your current goals feels too big? Break it down right now into 5 concrete steps you can start this week. Tip 8 will reveal how Stoic philosophers used the death principle to maintain relentless discipline, a powerful technique that few dare to use. Tip 8. Memento discipline. Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering mortality, to focus on what truly matters. Applied to discipline. Visualize the cost of procrastination. Who will you be in 5 years if you keep putting things off? What opportunities will you miss? This exercise creates a healthy urgency. Seneca warned, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Create a vivid mental contrast between 2 future versions of yourself, one who stayed disciplined and one who gave in to shortcuts. Which one deserves your effort today? Real-life scenario. A musician who practices even without inspiration imagines an empty stage if they neglect training. A student who pictures future regret from cheating on a test finds the strength to study instead. Anticipated pain becomes motivation. Reflect. What future regret are you planting today by putting off what matters? Write that vision down and keep it where you can see it. The next tip will reveal the secret of the monks for staying disciplined during chaotic times. A perfect antidote for the age of distraction. Tip 9. The purification ritual. Stoic monks had morning rituals to cleanse the mind before taking action. Our modern equivalent, creating barriers against distractions. Designate the first 90 minutes of your day as sacred time. No social media, no news, no interruptions. Protect this space like a temple. Epictetus taught. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Start your day with 10 minutes of meditation or journaling to clarify your intentions. Discipline flows when the mind is in order, not reacting to external chaos. Everyday example. A successful executive only checks emails after 10 a.m., dedicating the first hours to deep work. A writer disconnects Wi-Fi while writing. Master your environment before it masters you. Key question. What purification ritual can you implement tomorrow to protect your focus? Design it now with a clear schedule and rules. Tip 10. The law of conscious return. Discipline isn't about perfection. It's about quick recovery. High achievers aren't the ones who never fail, but those who never stay down. The Stoics called this the art of the comeback. Every relapse should be followed by immediate action. If you broke your diet today, your next meal is your chance to restart. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the obstacle becomes the way. When you slip, instead of self-criticism, ask, what is this mistake teaching me? Turn setbacks into feedback to adjust your strategy. An athlete doesn't quit training after missing one session. He analyzes what went wrong and adapts. Practical example. You planned to study for 2 hours but ended up procrastinating. Instead of giving up on the day, study for 25 minutes. Right now, Stoicism doesn't demand heroism, but intelligent consistency. Every small return to the path strengthens your character. Key question. What was your most recent setback? What would you do differently if you had another chance today? Write it down and make a micro adjustment now. Don't wait for tomorrow. Conclusion. Pause for a moment and imagine the worst-case scenario. 5 years from now, you're exactly where you are today. Same habits, same excuses, Same dreams, postponed. You wake up tired, look in the mirror and see someone who promised to change hundreds of times, but never truly acted. Frustration eats away at your peace. Missed opportunities weigh on you like stones. And worst of all, you know it could have been different. Time doesn't stop. Life doesn't wait. And every day you delay your discipline is a day you steal from the best version of yourself. Now take a deep breath and do this today. Choose just one of the 10 tips from this video, the one that resonated with you most, and apply it in the next 24 hours. If it was the 5-second rule, use it on a task you've been avoiding. If it was the public pact, share a goal with someone right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Discipline begins the moment you decide to break the pattern. I want to know, which of these strategies was your turning point? Comment below. I'll start with name of the tip. Your public commitment not only strengthens your determination, but might spark a change in someone else watching. Together, we build a community of action, not just intention. If this video helped you see that discipline is your ally, not your enemy, leave a like. It helps the algorithm spread this message to those who need it. If you're not subscribed yet, join us. Every week we bring Stoic wisdom transformed into practical steps, and turn on notifications, because real change takes consistency, and we're here to remind you of that. Your future is built on the small decisions you make. Today, what will yours be?